Hallo und herzlich willkommen zum Auf die Fresse wie WXW Review Podcast in English. I'm Ian Hamilton, joined by Mike Kilby. And Mike, Fußball kommt nach Haus on Friday, but the Anvil today is shattered. How's it going?
Yeah, all good. Sorry, I was like trying to work out what you're saying there. Yes, it
I
was.
wasn't going to sing it.
Yeah, no, doing all right. It's the summer doesn't seem to have arrived yet. The Euros is around the corner. I was meant to be going. I was planning on going to Germany for the Euros, but that's not the case. So yeah, I'm gonna sit and look out at the rain basically, and with a sad face all summer really. And we haven't
Well,
even got WXW to look forward to.
not for a few weeks, and yeah, obviously we're going to be talking about Driver Champions from the start of this month. The Euros is kind of forcing their hand, so they've gone on, say, the first of two short summer breaks this year. But they did go out for bang in Oberhausen at the start of this month for Driver Champions. They'll get going results. So we had the pre-show, Aaron Insane beating Mark Empire, of course, non-title. Was what it was for pre-show match, 5 minutes in and out, win for Aaron Insane, and I guess that's keeping whatever they're planning with him going. Main card, who beating LSG in 11 minutes. Decent enough again, but
Yeah.
we said this in the past episode, like, who would come back at Carrot? Obviously, it's meant to have been woven in with something with Maggot. Maggot getting injured, kind of derailed things, and they tried to do something with Farron Insane when maybe didn't work out in terms of availability. But next match we had Stephanie Mays, Bobby Guns beating Baby Elson and Ilmaric. Stefan Guns now qualifying for Tag Festival. But I guess the notable party was the return of Maggot to help get rid of interference, and just said the Who and Maggot stuff was kind of fell apart on day one. Well, say day -1 really with the injury. But Maggot's back. Who is still around running. So, do you think Pretty Bastards are going in for Tag League, or do you think that's maybe a bit too obvious an endpoint?
Yeah, I mean, I would like them in Tag League, because if they can go, because obviously, they are probably like one of it's probably like top 10 best tag teams in WXW sort of history. I'd probably say. Is that an unreasonable thing to say? But yeah,
Not too unreasonable. I mean, we've definitely
yeah,
had some degree of longevity, compared to a lot of the
yeah,
fleet teams have had.
exactly. So like, I kind of feel like they're one of the great teams in the history of the company. So yeah, I wouldn't be completely against it. I get the impression that, like, I don't know what the issue is with Ahura, but he's kind of, unfortunately, he has proven himself to be quite unreliable. I think from sort of from he's very often sort of
Anecdotally, shall
off.
we say? Like, there's been, I think the word we've heard has been very, not flippant, but like stuff will happen and there's not much rhyme or reason. I think
Yeah,
one story we've heard.
he's carried by the wind, basically.
Yeah,
Like, it's kind of seems to be what the impression I get from him.
yeah.
Um, and he's a free spirit, and like, fine, that's cool, whatever. But like, at the same time, it's like, if you're WXW, do you want to put all your eggs in his basket? Because he might just blow you off. And it at least appears to have been the case that that's happened a few times, and it's already happened sort of with the Hamburg show. So I don't know what the problem is. Hopefully, it's nothing personal, but it would be a cause of concern for me, I think.
I mean, they did, at least in the vlog, address the Hamburg thing. He's got was it Mama's Boys Burgers in Frankfurt. And I guess whether that's true or not, that's definitely being used as the explanation for any no shows. I mean, at the very start, to be fair, they did say with Ahura, I'm booked for a lot of dates. Oh crap, I've booked myself for too many. And I guess that was maybe we've signed, but if something falls through, that's why.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, obviously this is the first match back. Sorry, first time back for Maggot. Who's back? Who's been back since Scout? Maggot's back from injury. How that's going to go? Obviously, going to have to wait till the end of next month, pretty much. Such as the way the schedule's falling. But yeah, I mean, I think it's as for the match themselves, like the tag festival qualifier, it was fine. Like, and I think we've kind of hinted in the past the Bobby Guns. I really don't want to say fall from grace, but I've had a few people who don't really follow WWE closely, constantly speak of their surprise of just where Bobby Guns is on the card. Like and again, he had the long title that went into the pandemic. It's a case of you can't really go back to that so quickly, but at the same point, he had the only friend stuff, which there's something else you can kind of question like that. Ended last Tag Festival, and apart from the farewell, which some people would almost had really farewell or not, hasn't really been addressed.
Yeah, it's. I think I think especially with Guns, I think he does sort of. He's someone who I feel like he's good to have around because he can always sort of fit in any spot you do want him to put in, and he always does tend to have sort of, he tends to be in the better. When you look at sort of the matches at the end of the day, you kind of go, well, his matches tend to be sort of on the better half of the sort of the rating level. I always think he does well in that respect. Obviously the Michael Knight walk, Michael Knight just basically walked out, didn't he? What really went on with that? Not entirely sure, but I do like he's a good person to have in Tagfest, and I do actually think this pairing of him and Maze is like it's a good fit for each other. I feel actually, it seems more. Maze seems to get on more with Bobby than she ever did with Mudo. There was always kind of like always felt there was like a grudging respect with Mudo, but whether that's just how Mudo is, I don't know. But like, I feel that this is a pairing has a lot more. There's a lot more charisma in them as a pairing.
There's a lot more connection. Again, we've got
Yeah,
Mudo as part of KXS, and there's a team I'm surprised. I mean, again, not until recently they were on the rise for tag title shots in Hamburg. There's a team I'm surprised hasn't entered, and this is maybe my sensibilities and how things are going elsewhere, but you've got Axeman and Damo teaming as Sanity, in progress, and we're doing
yeah.
the US run defending the tag titles was a Black Label Pro last week with the belts. Like, I'm a little bit nervous. Like, do if Axeman is going to be in Tag Festival, is it going to be with Mudo, or is it going to be the Sanity retread? I think that's the path you've got to go very carefully down, because you've already had the Sanity run through into Brexit a few times. Now, I suppose you maybe could do Eric, but again, you've had him in WXW for Tag Festival. So I
It would
really
be
don't know
very
how.
weird, I
Yeah,
think.
it's.
Yeah,
But but looking back to the Michael Knight stuff, so obviously we second night Tag Fest last year, he did that whole leave I think the knee pad left in the ring. That got cut out for VOD, so that's what I mean by wasn't addressed. If you just watch the VODs, probably Michael Knight lost and vanished into thin air, which could leave a door open, but also it has now been like 9 months, so yeah,
yeah,
we'll see how that goes. Next up, we had a match with implications for the main event. Aaliyah Bloom against Icarus. The pre-match stipulation: if Aaliyah won, Icarus was banned from ringside for main event. If Icarus won, he was going to be special ref in the Counter 10 Simulation Last Man Standing match. We played off Bloom's head injury. I think post show vlog, Bloom said he's been knocked out in Hamburg a couple of weeks before, which I know we've been down this road before, but if that is the truth, get out the ring. I mean, we've seen, was it Edith Surreal not too recently, announced her retirement, because she's been getting mounting concussions. Like in wrestling, I mean, injuries you can try and work through. Was it Dax Harwood just today? Admitted he'd been working through a back injury and hit point of no
yeah.
return. Head injuries, and believe me, I've got my reasons for being sensitive with them. Don't fuck around with them, because it's like
Yeah,
you only have one brain, and if it is storyline, I know I've said this before. I'm not too thrilled when that's used as storyline point. Hopefully, in the fact for 6-7 weeks without anything, helps. But if it is genuine, bench them, because you've done, as you'll see at the end of the show, we've played the storyline out. Bloom won
but
this one here. He's for sliding D, he's taken off Masato Tanaka from Carrot, so he's picking stuff up from the veterans he's fought against. But yeah, the main part he he outsmarted Icarus, and no, that was no, the rest of Amboss banned from ringside for the main event.
The issue is, and it's just with as like sort of going back on the points is it's either they're using it as a storyline and it's kind of not the best taste thing to use as a storyline, or he's working through an injury, which neither of them are particularly good things. But
No,
ultimately, his choice, isn't it?
yeah, and again, I think that's part of the problem with with the indies. It's kind of like if you've got a contract with WWE, you've got a contract with AEW or
Yeah,
anyone, and it's the downside thing, and you get paid regardless. The only
yeah,
thing, I'm being very summative here, but the only thing you stand to lose by taking time to recover is potentially losing a spot. But if you still
yeah,
got your contract, that's all well and good. Yeah, WWE contracts are effectively 90-day rolling contracts, but you know what I'm getting at. On the indies,
yeah,
it's a different thing because if you, don't do a show because you're injured, you always run the risk of someone new taking your spot and catching fire, figuratively, of course, and then you could go from solid mid card on the rise to all of a sudden pre-show. And I suppose and that's the kind of thing of it's very hard to regain momentum now. Also, the flip side, if you're working through injuries, your performance aren't going to be great because always having to work through not at 100%. But that very rarely ends well. But we'll see if that goes. Where if it is a storyline, hopefully it's benched after this first break. If it is legit or a bit of both, then hopefully time off helps because the last thing we want is to see anyone retire through nagging injuries, at least of all head
yeah.
injuries. Moving on, had for me was the match of the night. Jeff Cobb beating Mike D. Just in the quarterfinal. This one, absolutely popped off. It's exactly what we were expecting. Jeff Cobb, big lad who can move. Mike D. If you don't know by now, where the hell have you been? There
Yeah.
was a hell of a lot of this. Can you top this going on? And I went 3.5 because for me it was a bit of a whole Cobb's got the New Japan TV belt. You know
It
where that's going to go.
it was as good as it could possibly be with the political implications of that
Yeah,
match. And I thought there was never a point where I believed that Mike D was going to win that, unfortunately, which is not always a good thing. But I do agree that it was probably match of the night for me. Sorry, as you were.
I think a few things as well with Jeff Cobb, and I didn't realize until again that vlog, he flew out from Japan, did the show, and flew back, and was working Cork and Half New Japan on the Monday.
Yeah,
So
yeah, he was in the
this,
Korakuen on Monday.
this wasn't a long term, not like a long tour or anything like that. Because I know a few folk were a little bit disappointed he wasn't doing Rev Pro the following day. But no, as for fly by night thing, definitely is a pretty good, really good show, and hopefully one point with something they can run back. Um, then no, after the interval, we had a match was originally scheduled to fight forever. Jay New and Eva Klasky, apparently was travel issues was the story I'd heard. I think at one point, I don't know how true this is, but I was told at one point the phrase I was told the car from Hungary hadn't made it by bell time. How true it is, I don't know. But yes, back up moved to the main card, which ain't all great because you see some companies will go, no, you missed your spots, you done, we don't want you to rush. But we had a match. Eve Klasky's first match in what's in September, I think in the Brexit, picked up a win. I guess keeping a pretty healthy rotation of names in the I don't say non-existing women's division, but it's not a division that's got a belt yet to fight for, and we'll get onto that with the Femme Fatale stuff later on the show and we'll go through the announcements. But any takeaways from that match, Mike?
It was good to see Eva back. I think she'd been taking time off, I believe, for her education, which is
Nothing to be
spot
sniffed
on.
at.
Yeah, exactly. And I believe she'd been studying, finishing university, and then also she'd been doing some training in North America, I believe. So yeah, she'd been. Yeah, I have to. I've always been a big fan of Eva as a sort of as a wrestler in WXW, and hopefully there's something that she can get her teeth into in WXW, because without the women's title, I know we keep on going back to this all the time. Without the women's title, I kind of feel like, is there something for all of the girls here? But I think she is someone who can sort of hold her own, especially against sort of the international. I say international, non sort of the people who aren't regulars in WXW. I always think she can hold her own, in the same way that all she could at the time. So, yeah, I think it was about as good as I thought it was going to be. But yeah, good to see her back anyway.
Next, we had a four-way. Nick Schreier pinning Alex Duke in a match which also had Axel Tischer and Dennis Stolnig. Apparently, Hector was getting married that weekend, which explains why he wasn't on the show at all. It was a pretty decent four-way. Again, it's the kind of thing that, I guess, on paper you had four tag teams here, or
Yeah,
representatives. Nick Schreier, of course, Mike D. There's been the Nelson Muntz, Martin Prince tag team that we brought up last time. Alex Duke involved Norman Harris on the shelf. Lord knows what's
big
going on with
bucks.
him. Axman and of course Mudo, Dolnick and Hector. And I thought, oh well, this is going to be playing out Axman and Cash. Nope, it was Nick Schreier getting the win, which completely caught me by surprise.
Yeah,
And this wasn't Nick getting a cheap win over Axman or Cash. It was Nick getting a win, rolling up. It was that supposed to be Regalplex, Duke's Decree calls it, Alex
yeah,
Duke. I was rolled out of the win. Again, pretty decent. I've got 10 minutes. Again, four ways. You only can be able to do so much in that time. But you've gone from clearing out one tag team title challenge to potentially, well, not potentially. Now we've got a second one, which got announced in the follow-up vlog for Shortcut. Next up, we had Levaniel against Oscar, rematch for the Shotgun title, with that stipulation of no title can change on count out or disqualification. Absolutely fantastic video package beforehand,
yeah,
which I
brilliant.
wished we'd had that for the Hamburg one, but such is life.
I would
And
like them to have had that at Hamburg and also Oscar winning.
yeah, well, can't have
Yeah,
rice pudding every day. But
yeah,
yeah, again, this one, they did a pretty decent job in terms of teasing the fitting of the rules. Levine will try to bail the belt, then realize you're going to lose your belt if you do that. But then had a decent match when the end. Levine figured out, oh, I can cheat and keep my belt as long as the ref doesn't notice. End up a couple of low blows behind the ref's back. To be honest, I preferred Hamburg just because of how hot the crowd was for that.
yeah,
But yeah, in perfect world, give me the Hamburg video package and a proper finish. No, I don't
yeah,
care, if Oscar won or not, but a proper finish, none of this. Because right now you've had Oscar lose, well, he won by count, but two unsuccessful tilts of the title. Try saying that 10 times fast. Um, but yeah, now we've got Levine who's beaten him cleanly, air quotes around about as big as you can. And yeah, where you go next, who knows? But shortcut for top. I'm guessing he'll be in the Rumble match there. But next we advertised the main event, Last Man Standing, with Icarus banned from ringside thanks to Leah Bloom. Robert Dreisker beating Peter Tahani to retain the unified title in just under 33 minutes. Where do we start with this, Mike?
Like, I thought the bones of the match was pretty decent. It was going quite well. I've said it. I think any time he is in a match like this, I always do say it. But I think Dreisker is a wonderful sort of brawling, sort of special set going
Like the
around
set
fighting
plays
in
you're
the
going for, yeah.
crowd. He's a. I think he's genuinely one of the best. The best at doing that. I think it's a real strength he has. He can do those sort of matches great. But yeah, well, we'll get on to it. The finish. I see you written down Yano finish. Yeah, it's it was obviously a last man standing match, and then they didn't they do a similar finish with Batista and Cena once, you know?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
My memory of that was very vague, but yeah. Basically, so you had the half hour, Tahani brought out a
yeah,
shopping trolley full of plunder. It was the moonsault off of the stairway through, through merch tables, which, sorry, SL Wrestling, but, you're in a danger zone there. Um, Yeah, the match take off the finish. I really enjoyed the match.
Mm.
The plunder, walk and brawl stuff, can age badly for some, but it's been a while since
It,
we've done one of these. For me, it was for the last 3 to 5 minutes that really just did my head in. It's like so I think at one point Trice was pretty much spent, and all of a sudden, second wind, but fair enough. Then he taped, starts using weapons, then grabs rolls of tape from around the ring, crotches Tahani in the post, tapes his legs around it. Toriano Dreisker gets the win because your legs taped on the post. How do you stand up? But to me, that wasn't too bad. Finish I didn't like, but then it just didn't help it. What happened next? Nobody helped Paige Tahani. Nobody in the locker room. Bear in mind, only Icarus banned from ringside. And
yeah,
then after the match, Dreisker does the big, I've been the best champion in the history of sport. Give me respect. And I'm just going to rebuild, reclaim. And then the Ambos music cuts them off. Lawrence Roman comes out, and this is a bit I think with Stricker was mentioned. Like, unless you've watched all the vlogs, this is stuff which would have gone over your head. And I think Stricker mentioned this when he was with the show, hadn't seen anything since Carrot, and one was surprised with Tahani was a good guy. Bear in mind with finale Carrot, we all thought he was turning, but that's what you get. Um, was after the Dresden Leipzig stint, one of the post shotgun blogs, one of the shotgun blogs rather, Roman demanded, he wants a contract with his title shot because Dreisk was just going to keep screwing him out of it. We saw with you're going to get a world title match. It's a tag title match, and then how that all played out. So you got a contract signed by Dreisker. You can get your title shot anytime you want, any match you want, but you got to be cleared. Of course, Roman came out for neck brace, waved a bit of paper. I've got another bit of paper out of pocket. Yeah, as of today, Erskine Sexton probably mucked the order up in Hale. I'm now formally cleared, and he wants he wants a match today. Dreisker runs to the back, except he's stopped by other people who didn't come out to save Peter Tahani 10 minutes earlier, which that's by the by. I mean, even if I was Peter Tahani in the storyline, I would be completely pissed, and I would hate that locker room as well. But they came out, chased Dreisker back to the ring, impromptu lumberjack match, although apart from chasing Dreisker back to the ring, they weren't needed. Yeah, get the match. It was a pretty short one, but exactly what we wanted. Front slam, crossface. Dreisker submits. Lawrence Roman, your new Unified World Wrestling Champion, Grand Slam winner.
that's a shock to me.
Yeah, I mean, the
Yeah,
ending I compared to was Lex Luger beating Yokozuna at SummerSlam '93, except this was an actual title change, not a count out mole victory.
I wonder would he be the quickest Grand Slam winner from first title to? Listen, we'd never be able, we'd have to sit and work it out with pen and paper. But
You had after the last show, you had me do the bloomin' what was it, the lineal champion, and that went some really
yeah,
going back in a sec, but that went some really wild turns. But
surely because he won everything. He won the first title in he won the shotgun belt like in January last year, didn't he?
18
So
months,
in the
just
space of
tag.
18 months, he's won everything.
Oh no, the first tag run.
Yeah, 2023, wasn't it?
Yeah, the way Cage Matches listed it. So yeah, the shotgun was January 2023. The first tag was September 2023.
Yeah.
When lose win for a month. Yeah, so just under 18 months. Um, I will go back and have a look, and next episode we will have your answer. But I will be
There can't be
stunned
anybody who's done that quicker. Surely not.
if there is. I'd be stunned. Like, it would have to be
Yeah.
some like one of the 1 day runs. And I know
Or
not
just
they did,
completely forgotten.
yeah, or airbrushed from
Yeah.
history for reasons. But yeah, that'll be my homework for the next episode. But yeah, we're going back for lineal stuff because we brought it up. So I think we brought this up in the last episode, and now I've used very modified rules, but it's from the first champion winning. Any match apart from tag matches counted, unless there's any losses by DQ and count up because they don't count normal matches. If it's on cage match, it's only if I'm counting. Um, I'm going by the air date, so anything in COVID era, if we don't know when it's taped, well, tough luck, we're going by when it's aired. And I think the crucial one was if you didn't have a cage match profile, you didn't exist.
Yeah.
So the women's title went from Kilkelly. I think you followed through to
The British
you
Indies.
British Indies, so like Damon Moser, Drew Parker. There's a
Yeah.
fellow called Lamassu in Nottingham who didn't have a profile, so sorry, you no don't exist here. Saxon Huxley, CJ Banks, Justin Sison, he of the Cape. Um,
Hang
then
your head in
around
shame. Yeah.
Eddie Ryan from Five Star Wrestling fame. Gilligan Gordon, this went around Southwest Wrestling for a long time. Bullet, Coy McRae went around Ipswich. Then went over from Coy McRae in Ipswich to Benstoff in GWF. Tarkan Aslan, Mudo, back to Avalanche during the COVID tapings, to Metahan, um, even went round back to John Klinger in September 2021, went back around to France, so likes of Thibaut Hendrick, former WXW's Academy, Paige Tahani, Tristan Archer, Ben Stoff again. And yeah, I've had a run Tag Festival last year where it was firmly in WXW's grasp. Leon Slater, Man Like Dries, Jordan Up, then Hector Invictus winning at Inner Circle last year. And then Hector lost to Sam Delavalli in Austria. And the last name we've got for this is a fella called JC Navarro beating Nathan Black of the British indie scenes in Puerto Rico, which yeah, that was a bit of a head fuck. Like, really? Yeah, a guy called Macho Navarro, and his last. Oh, no, it's actually been up since last done miss. It's now a fella called Big Daddy Montez.
You can sing the Smoke on the Water song to that as well. So yeah.
Big Daddy V, Big Daddy Montez, which yeah, it's in Puerto Rico anyway, and I think it's probably going to stay there for a while. As for Shotgun Belt, and bear in mind this came in August 2013, so we're looking at 11 years here. This went on a long meandering path. So starting with Ilya Dragunov, to Tyler Bate, because of course Ilya used to work in the Brit Indies, back in the early 2010s. Through to Martin Kirby, through to Eddie Phillips, who I meant to ask about Psycho Phillips, but never got around to that. Maybe a couple of cancelled names. We've got Robbie X, Pete Dunne, Ryan Smile. It then went back through Bad Bones, back to WXW, back to Kim Ray at around the same time Kim Ray was holding the belt. Then again to Sasa Keel, again when he was the champion. Then round through America for a long time. Then back to Brit Rays and back to the US Indies. Anyway, long story short, at the moment it's Tony Storm, which
Tony Storm is the Shotgun champion.
yeah.
There we
So
go.
sorry, Lavaniel, you've got someone to beat for the lineal reign, and yeah, good luck with that. But yes, going back to Drive of Champions after that detour. Question: the Amboss formation was June 2022. Back then, it was at Broken Rules. Dreisker won the belt at Drive of Champions last year. Do you think this wrap up was maybe a bit rushed to hit the June cadence?
What do you mean the wrap up? Like just wrapping up the storyline?
Yes, like they thought, Roman, Dreisker, Amboss put together 2 years ago. Dreisker won the belt a year ago, and then he lost the belt pretty much the same way he won it by, the open challenge or the title shot anytime, any place thing.
I think. Yeah, I mean, I think they probably had to wrap it up before the month bloody. Well, because the next one's not until mid-July, is it?
No.
That's Europa show, isn't it? So, I mean, there is probably that, but there's also probably an element of like if they don't do it here, then they have to wait to shortcut because I don't think they would do that angle in Frankfurt. Again, kind of the value of the value of the sort of the other cities have possibly been a bit devalued over the last couple of years. So I think there was no if they weren't going to do it here, they would have had to wait till shortcut, and then that's way too short to have anything really happen before Tagfest really.
Yeah, and I think it's. I mean, again, no, it's the whole romantic thing of, you have, the serendipity of, oh, it happened to start and end of it's not pretty much the same show, the same venue. But yeah, just, again, if you didn't watch every single bit of video put out, you could be completely forgiven for not knowing if the Carrot title shot turned into a not virtually Money in the Bank kind of thing. And again, we don't know how this is going to follow up. We're not going to know until at least the end of next month. After the match, Dreisker tweeted Finn, then image of a check engine light. Icarus posted a picture of a TV with a shattered anvil on it. Although Dreisker and Icarus are both booked as Amboss in IWI late this month
That's
against
Italy, isn't it?
no
Oh no,
with
sorry, IWA. That's in like central Germany, isn't it?
yeah, it's become a bit
Yeah.
IPW Germany merged with. They're taking
Yes.
on Project Justitia, and I know I'm butchering that pronunciation.
Oh
Uh,
yes, yes, yes.
Ekon Keel, the I don't want to
Yep.
say knockoff Shield, that's way too reductive, but that same kind of gimmick.
Uh, I'm sure there's more than one knockoff Shield in German wrestling. 100% guaranteed.
Maybe
I've
something
watched
even
a
they
lot of
think.
German indies.
But yeah, so we'll see what happens with Van Boston. They'll be sticking around at least in the Euros. I did notice that Dreisker has been shedding a few title belts lately. Um, Again, I'm just going to pull up his cage match, but I don't want to say it's indicative of anything in particular, but not to know if he's been signed. But like in the start here had obviously the WXW titles, the PWR title. He lost that one. It was actually in late April to Martin Payne. Only belt he's got still is the Passion Pro one, and apart from those dojo shows, haven't really won it in
Yeah.
October of last year. And looking, yeah, apart from dojo shows, they haven't run since. So hard to lose a belt for not running shows. But yeah, just for us, maybe a bit weird how he went from being like a
Worth
bit belt collector
mentioning. Yeah.
to yeah. Yes, so see what goes on Van Boss, but where next for Tani? Because we just mentioned the whole locker room came out to save Lawrence Roman, but you pretty much sitting on their hands when a massive injustice happened against Tahani earlier. What happens next for him? I mean, he did beat Dreisker and Hamburg, but really, that's not. That's just gonna be like a footnote in all this. He got the win to unsettle Dreisker, but not the win when it really matters. Do you redo Roman against Tahani again? You had as the final couch. You had the rematch in Frankfurt. Obviously, we've announced Trevor Lee's the opponent at Shortcut at the top. Is the Coward rematch big for the championship set at Tag Festival or who? Again, that maybe point to does Tahani win the shortcut match?
I don't know. I think there's enough legs in them doing Tehani Roman again. I think it would be.
You would need to have Tahani properly turn at this point, or surely, especially
Yeah,
Roman's
yeah. I
now the
think.
clear beloved good guys champion.
I mean, could you do? I mean, Tehani and Icarus as a pairing, feasibly. I suppose, like they've possibly, Icarus might have Icarus sort of in the last couple of he's been kind of the bit of the unsure who to support in the Amboss situation. Um, he's kind of been left out on the side. Tihani himself, he's flirted with being, you know, going for himself. So could you do something with Icarus? I don't know, maybe. Um, I don't know. It's I don't know I don't think he should be going down to sort of the shotgun level. I think he should be around the world title. If he's not in the world title, we need to have a big strong feud with someone. And arguably, probably Icarus is the sort of person that they could do that with.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. It's the obvious one if you're not going to turn him, but even then,
yeah,
no. If you are going to go back to Roman Tahani for the title this time, again, but this, again, this is assuming Dreisker's going to be on the bench and forced otherwise. And I think that's part of the thing as well. Is with Tahani aside, there is no obvious challenges,
no,
and that's why you're getting Trevor Lee at shortcut next month in August, and then whoever shortcut winner is in October. But again, that's the kind of thing we've seen. You've done your big story, but then it's the and then what's we need to build on. the thing coming up with show, which really we've complained about this before. The next big show is the Neil's going to
Well, it's
butcher
the
this, the
next show in
wrestling.
general, isn't it?
Yeah, the Europa Meisterschaft, the wrestling EM in Frankfurt. And apart from Lower Thirds advertising the show, no mention of Shotgun Blog's been and gone. They've mentioned it's a tournament, but Christ knows who's in
Yeah.
it. At
It
this
sounds
point,
like the bloody Mitteldeutschland
yeah,
Pokal. Yeah.
yeah. So it's the whole kind of thing of what is going on? Like, I know it was the last look, ticket sales are doing pretty well for that, but at the same time, you kind of want to be, have some idea of who's in it. I know there've been, I think Igel Blanc's the only one who's really been pushing he wants to be in it. He wasn't on these shows, so you weren't going to get like a record bit with him. But apart from saying there's going to be a tournament, we know nothing. Like, go through the Shotgun blog, they did maybe tease with Roman and Ahura, just bumping into each other after the main event. You're getting Nick Shy and Mike D against Cash and Hector at Shortcut. Who said he's not going to be in the European title tournament. I don't know. No, that was knee jerk for. He didn't face Matt Cardona. He wanted Axel Tish, and he's getting him in Frankfurt. Christopher Verk blaming Maggot for his guys not being Tag Festival. Now got a trios match in Frankfurt. I mean, there's 8 names not in the tournament, which we'll cover in a second. Went back to Baby Allison chewing out Maggot for her not being in Tag Festival. She's now thinking that Maggot's selfish and taking her spots and her glory. And I swear we said a Carrot, she was pissed that Forwerk apparently attacked him. Now that's being forgotten about because Maggot's cost her a spot. We'll see. LSG wants in on Tag Festival for Leah Bloom, which I suppose there's a homegrown team, but yeah, again, we don't know the format. If it's going to be a knockout, whether it's going to be back to the league system, guess we'll see probably September time. It's like last year. And then vlog ended with Icarus consoling Robert Dreisker backstage. Suggested we should go back to being a tag team, and Dreisker just walked off. So yeah, I think at least if you want to follow the vlog canon, that's Robert Dreisker gone and Icarus at a bit of a loose end for the time being.
Yeah. Yeah, bit of a. I feel that the quality was down on Hamburg. Like the second, I don't feel that anything really got close to the heights of Hamburg, and Hamburg was a deeply flawed show. I mean, the Cobb Mike D match was decent, but from there, yeah, I didn't love this one. Didn't love this one at all.
I think the big, like I said, the main event was your, quote unquote moment. You got the, Roman winning the belt, big surprise. That's pretty much the headline everyone's taken away. There's a lot that it masked for. Like I said, the fact that Tahani aside, maybe a who if you want to count that, bump in the corridor. I mean, watch the vlog where the hell is the who going because Alpha Locker Room can only go to the ring unless you. And we know there's a back way to get the merch here, so Lord knows what's going on there. But there's no obvious no challenges, and it's obviously now relying on Shortcut to set someone up. And I think a lot from past years has been a lot of focus on the big ambush storyline, which has been great. We've had the beats which have played out, but then underneath it's been a very soft belly of that card. I think now it's we've got the Europa, whatever the hell that's going to be. You're going to have shortcuts and then Tag Festival. Really, you're probably looking till maybe the end of the year, the anniversary show before we start building up someone with a real push for the character title shot next year. And there's going to be a lot of work needing to be done, whether if it's someone not on the roster or being pushed right now. There's a lot of work to build them up, establish, and get them that spot. If it is someone who's on the card and has maybe been bubbling under, you've got to pull that trigger sometime quick so it doesn't look like it's, hey, he's a guy who could barely get in a show. Now he's won 2 matches and boom, there's your card main event.
Yeah.
We'll see where that goes. Obviously, we've got more than a few weeks off. And we'll see what comes in. We're going to do a podcast probably late this month, early next, to go through. We touched upon. We'll talk about it later, but hopefully be a bit more clarity to what's going on in Frankfurt by then, because like right now they have sold everything apart from the things like standing room only and like back rows of seating. But yeah, you kind of hope you've got something apart from something tournament related to advertise, because otherwise, yeah, that Sudvest Pokal's going to be looking pretty slim pickings. But going a few news bits coming out. So the end of last month, we dropped off a WWE Network. Uh,
Woohoo!
yeah, I mean, it's been anything new, but I mean, really, they've not been adding anything from 2024. Like, it was about WWE Network News tweeted out that content was starting to disappear at the end of May, and I think I noticed it was on the Friday, the 31st, stuff was going. I mean, that started in what? It's during COVID. I know it started. It was
Yeah.
like was the 2019 ambition from Toronto, because remember, just weird Alan Farrell being on the network, one of the shows he commentated on, and then the Femme Fatale tournament, best
Yeah,
of
did they
Brian
not listen to
Danielson.
that commentary? The Femme
Well,
Fatales one. That was
yeah, I
the
mean,
Rico Bushido. Yeah.
yeah, but that did the rounds when that went up, and yeah, that may have had a hand in certain decisions, shall we say. They also put up best of Brian Danielson special, of course, best of Daniel Bryan. They had to label it as, but it wasn't until I guess the second half of 2020 they started doing regular uploads with the second season of Shotgun 2020, not the heavily abridged, heavily edited one, but is still up apart from episode 5 for obvious reasons. Then the Wheel of Wrestling shows went on, and the I guess the monthly specials, your True Colors, the Catch Grand Prix, all that. Most shows mine did go on to the network, the exception being 2022's Carrot Tournament. Jonathan Gresham with the Ring of Honor title out every night probably didn't help. But yeah, apart from that, they uploaded pretty much everything. Last show was December's 23rd anniversary show. Nothing from 2024 went up, which I always took as a bit of a red flag. I mean, when the Progress deal ended, they put up the unboxing show from 2022, was up for like 3 days before it all got yanked. But yeah, so we've gone from the network now. Only place you can get it legally, got that claim up, is on directlynow.com. And it's going to be quiet for the next couple of weeks, obviously, because of the summer break. But there is some stuff being added on there. So they announced we're going to be doing like Summer with Friends, Progress, Defy, Action Wrestling, Smash, Wrestling Cult, and IWA Mid South. They're going to have shows added on to Wrestling now over the summer. And
Yep.
I believe last week I'm just pulling some, get the names right. They did add a couple up on Friday. So
So
this
they
past
added the
month,
King of Cult tournament
King of
from
Cults,
last month.
which that's a hell of a quick turnaround even for Cults.
Yeah.
Like normally the shows they have up are usually like a good 3 to 6 months delay.
Yeah.
They also uploaded Smash Wrestling's Homecoming from August of 2022. Featuring, and I'm just reading off the YouTube page, Psycho Mike's Body Slam Invitational, Jacob Crane, where to be seen, hopefully, and Alex Shelley, Mike Bailey, and Freeway, if you're just looking for big names. So,
Yeah.
and again, mentioned Progress, Defy, Action, IWA Mid South. Bit surprised about that last one, because IWA Mid South's been shut for 2 years at this point, but I'm sure there'll be something pulling out mothballs there.
Well, it's content, isn't it?
Yeah, and again, if it's part of your subscription, so you're not paying extra for it. In terms of announcements, and we've got a absolute whack ton here. Bielefeld in September sold out. I think it's the 4th time in a row they've sold out now, and say in September, at least 3 months before showtime. So, good on Sebastian's going to be doing a bit of a dance over that. That run continues. Talent announcements: Mike Loke, who's on Shortcut at the top. I'm guessing it's going to be a shortcut match since Trevor Lee got the title match. Femme Fatale went a bit nuts announcing names last week. So we've got Tank. She's the one who took on Robert Dreisker in the Grungebahn in Hamburg last year. Looked pretty impressive in defeat, but not still pretty new to all this. Diana Strong from Poland. She's making her main roster debut, doing some of the Academy Wednesday Night Heat shows. I've also got the return of Devlin McCarb. She did the unification, the title for title GWF Women's title match with Ava Everett on Femme Fatale last year. That's in addition to Baby Arson and Jessie J, who had already been announced. I expect Ava Everett as well. She confirmed a European run between September 19th and October 7th. based out of Germany. I wonder what's going on in those dates, Mike.
It's a hell of a long time to be there if she's doing GWF. So
And also, a bit late for yours as well if she's interested in football.
yeah.
And finally, Friday night, the Extreme Wrestling Party, they announced Mike Dean, Gringo Loco in a TLC match. Interesting was a video Dan Malman have been doing these social media questions. I've had Met answer questions. Someone was asking were they going to do a full-on deathmatch tournament. I was part of that Extreme Wrestling Party or any other WWE shows. And Dan mentioned it's a German law. Can't use glass in wrestling shows, I guess, in live performances like this. So barbed wire is fine. Bleeding's fine. Exploding plastic boxes, chairs, tables, ladders are fine. They draw the line in glass, and I guess that's only fair enough. But say that whole thing we had last year about you better use the light tubes before they're banned by the EU. Needn't worried.
That's funny because I've definitely seen terrible German deathmatch promotions using glass. So there we go. They're obviously breaking the law.
Unless it's like an indoor-outdoor kind of thing, but yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
Hopefully it didn't record and put on YouTube. Oops.
Oh yeah, that's where I've seen it. I've definitely
I think I know the most about. Just to protect them, we shall not mention their names.
Yeah.
But if you look around, might be one of the dodgy boxing ring and Harris fence cage.
It wasn't Kamens, if you're thinking of that one. It wasn't that one.
I have nightmares just thinking.
I will mention them because it wasn't those, so it's fine. Anyway,
coming up 3 shows before Tag Festival. God, it's creeping upon us. July 20th match cup in Frankfurt, the wrestling Europa Meisterschaft. We've got announced a Who against Axel Tischer rescheduled from Leipzig, and a 6-person tag, Baby Allison, Anil Marek with High Perform Limited teaming with Lavaniel, taking on Lawrence Roman, Maggot, and Aaron Insane. That's 2 matches now plus for 2 or whatever hell format's going to be, because right now we are 5-6 weeks out, and apart from knowing there's a tournament for a new title, that's all we know. August 10th for Turbine Hall, we've got Shortcut for top. Nick Schreier and Mike D challenging Cash and Hector for the tag titles, and Trevor Lee challenging Lawrence Roman for the Unified World Wrestling title. As just mentioned, September 21st in Bielefeld, Wheel of Wrestling 62. That one's sold out, so unless you're going to try the second-hand market, don't bother going for a ticket. Then it's Tag Festival season. In a Circle 16 on October 3rd in Gelsenkirchen. Then you've got Friday, Saturday, Sunday in Oberhausen Turbine Hall 2, Tag Festival, Extreme Wrestling Party, Define or Progress, and Femme Fatale. So packed schedule, and announced so far for Tag Festival. We've got Tim Thatcher and Hideki Suzuki, Gringo Loco and Ares, Thomas Shire and One Called Manders, and a pairing of Stephanie Mason, Bobby Gunn. So 4 teams there. Probably 50 want to assume LSG and Leah Bloom's in the mix, but slowly shaping up.
If we go by last year, people announced for it and they just disappeared. So I wouldn't hold you.
God, yeah. Well, we've got another post. Oh God, maybe LSG and Leah's the Metahan and Rambo this year's lineup.
It could happen.
I mean, to be fair, they said they wanted to be in. They never got confirmed, although they, Metahan and Rambo did get a graphic, so who knows? But we'll see who's announced and what form the tournament's going to be this year. But yeah, as we said earlier, of course, the Euros going to be hitting pause on WXW for between their shows, best part of 2 months. So we're going to be doing what every podcast does when content's thin. We're doing a retro episode, and it had happened sooner or later. May as well be episode 41. But in August, of course, WWE's doing Bash Berlin. If it's how close I'll keep up with the big Berlin show. Ticket price is big as the show. But a lot of assumptions, despite Raw last night with Ilya Dragunov losing to Bron Breakker. They're going to be going there. Walter and Ilya Dragunov, or Gunn, if you want to use his WWE name. So, of course, we're going to go there too. We're going to go through 5 matches that they've had throughout the years in WXW, starting the first ever singles meeting in Borken back in September 2015. Of course, the 2017-16 Carol Gold final, the 2018 Deezus match to sign Freeway Dance, which, of course, we have to cover because, it's pretty much been magnum opus of WXW at that point. And then 2 Willie's title defenses in 2018, True Colors and Superstars of Wrestling. So all these up on WXW now, of course, right now. So we're going to rewatch those. We'll come back probably end of June, early July, and give our take and see what the WWE universe we still call it that. We've got to look forward to if they have never laid eyes on these two before.
Yeah, and hopefully we might know the format of the European Championship.
Oh, come on, can't have everything now. But yeah, that's going to do it for another episode. The usual beg, if you haven't done so already, like and subscribe us in your podcast app of choice on YouTube, leave a review and all that. Enjoy the videos, Mike, and we'll be back at the end of the month for hopefully some clue on the wrestling EM, but absolutely positively, Walter and Ilya ×5. Cheers.
Cheers.